steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one quick question?
can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. If you are new to the channel, yeah, man, like as you guys see in the title, this is like a personal life thing, and I don't really talk about my personal life too much on here. Where, you know, like intentionally of that being like the agent thing, of that being like the title of the video and stuff like that. But I did want to open up tonight's video and stream and stuff with that because I don't know, it's just been on my mind a lot, and I feel like if I get it out, if I say it out loud, then I'll be able to, like, you know, not just say it on camera and things of that sort. So yeah, man, Sinners, Ryan Coogler's movie with Michael B. Jordan, it came out today. And everybody across the board is saying like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Great movie, like highest rated movie in this platform's history, highest rated movie in this platform's history. And the last time I remember that where it was like everybody across the board liked it was like Get Out in 2017, you know, and obviously that's kind of like a modern day film classic and things of that sort. So it was something that like, you know, I was like, okay, I kind of want to see it. But see, movies now have become a thing where it's like attached to like a tradition and people and stuff like that. So it's like a good example, a Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is always like a thing like I can watch with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Every Christmas, gotta watch A Christmas Story with my mom specifically. Like that's our thing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm watching boxing, it's like I want to watch boxing match with my dad. You know, like that. Like that's our thing. Like if there's a big fight, my dad's hosting the fight party, I want to go watch it with my pops. You know what I'm saying? If he's doing a fight party, especially. You know, it's just things like that. Certain things where it's like, okay, this person likes this person likes this person likes this, and we can connect on that. And that is like our thing. So there's this one a homegirl I have in Atlanta, and over when I was in Atlanta the past 3 years, it was kind of like we developed this tradition of going to the movies on Tuesdays, because on Tuesdays the movies were cheaper, and then but they will also get like they went to the movies so much because they're a movie buff, A, but B, because they get points. So they get points on their card with that particular movie theater company and stuff like that. And they would go on Tuesdays to kind of really max out the money and stuff like that, because, you know, everything's about budgeting and money and stuff. And so for the past 3 years, I got used to that. I'm not really a movie person, but I did it just for kind of them because they just moved to Atlanta. They weren't from Atlanta and stuff like that. So, you know, just kind of welcome them in some sense of community. But over time, I warmed up to the movies, and I like started like, okay, this is our thing. Like this my homegirl. We do movies, this and that. Woo. So, anyways, when I left, we watched one last movie, and that was the Clarissa Shields movie. And when I left, she was just like, man, like you really about to, like, that's crazy. Like you really just about to dip like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I gonna watch? Like the male movies and the kind of like, and I was just like, hey man, you know, I gotta go to the money. So you know, I was back in town a few weeks ago, as you guys know, on the channel for the Layla concert. And then so I saw her earlier that weekend, and then she was like, yo, how long you in town? And I was like, we'll text. And she was like, yeah, text me. So I was like, yeah, I'm in town to Tuesday. And she was like, dang, that's movie night. Like you would leave movie night. I'm like, yeah, sorry, my bad. It's all good, you know, like I'm like, oh, Jester and all good fun. Like we'll catch up this summer when I'm back in town, like a lot more, just back home and stuff. And then so I'm like, man, we were supposed to watch Sinners like next Tuesday, or you know, this weekend. And she said, yeah, you know, if you ever have homegirls, you always have this moment. It's like, yeah, I'm actually going to watch it with my boyfriend on Tuesday. I was like, wow. Wow, okay, all right, yeah, that's cool. Like, when did that happen? And she's like sending a picture. I was like, okay, that's cool for y'all, everything like that. And I'm really happy for her. But in the back of my mind, it's like, dang, I know the relation is not gonna be the same now anymore. You know what I mean? Like if it's between you guys have all had that. If you had like a friend of the opposite sex, it's always been like that. Of like, they get in a relationship, you guys are still friends and cool, but it's not the same. So I'm like, okay, so like this summer, like am I gonna be like a third wheel, or like are the movie things like just no longer a deal? Like is that no longer our thing? Like that tradition is just over with. And so um I also just opened up about it. I was like, man, it's like all my, if two or three things happen close to you, because another, like one of my closest friends, like in life and stuff like that, I was in this wedding and stuff last year. He just announced, well, he told us, he hasn't announced publicly, but he told us that he's pregnant. Him and his wife are pregnant. And everyone's like, congratulations, guys. I'm so happy for you. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing feat. But in the back of my mind, I was like, that baby is taking more time away from my home. Like, and it's so selfish. I know it's selfish, but it's like just my genuine thoughts, what I'm thinking. And like, so with my homegirl, doing this and stuff like that, I was like, man, I told her straight up, I was like, man, I feels like all my friends and peers, like they're growing up and starting families and things of that sort. It's like, while part of me is happy for them, it's like I'm still kind of moving like how I was when I was younger, and I still move the same way. Like obviously I'm smarter, so like I don't do a lot of the dumb stuff that I did when I was younger. But like in terms of just independence, freedom, living on a fly, and living on a whim and stuff like that, I still do that. And you know, now I'm 30. You know what I'm saying? I've been 30. I turned 30 a couple months ago, and it's like my peers, they like family time. You know what I mean? Like the traditional kind of life timeline and things of that sort. And it's just a weird place to be, and I know I'm not the first person, but it's just the first time I've kind of experienced it on a level like this, of like um in the past couple months I've been to a proposal for one of my best friends. Another one of my best friends just announced he's having his first kid with his wife. And then another one of my best friends, where we do this specific thing, is now in a committed relationship, and they're like, no, I do this thing with my partner now. And so yeah, man, it's just like, dang, I'm not, because the thing about it is, a lot of people, I feel like, get in that position of like everybody surrounding them is moving towards this one thing, and they kind of like take um like the peer pressure, or like the environment, they don't want to feel left out, so they just get, what I'm saying, a relationship of their own, or start a family of their own. I definitely do not want to do that. Just because I like where I'm at right now in life, bro. Like I like the fact that I could just pick up, get a plane ticket, and just go the next day. Like I like the fact that I could go to LA, New York, Atlanta. Like I love the fact that I could just do these things of like, oh, when's the conference? When's that game? Okay, let me plan out to go to that game, to go to that conference anytime I want. I enjoy it. I enjoy the independence, but it also goes back to the existential thing of like, what is the point of life? Is the point of life for you to do whatever you want to do? Or is the point of life to you know what I mean? Like, it's the point of life to be fruitful and multiply and legacy and all this stuff. And so, I constantly go back and forth with that every now and again. And that's just kind of like the moment where I'm at right now. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I like just chilling, bro, because I feel like if you rush or you force it just because everybody else around you is doing it, you're setting yourself up for failure. And it's kind of me just breaking down all of the things that I kind of grew up seeing, of like seeing broken homes, seeing, failed marriages, all this stuff. Like it's like, okay, why? You know what I'm saying? You see the numbers and you see everything like that, but you're like, why? And you keep asking yourself why, and you get older yourself and see it for yourself firsthand and experience it for yourself firsthand. You're like, okay, I notice these patterns. I don't want that to be my reality in the future. So that's my personal Asian yap. That was 9 minutes of that. Thank you all. It was about 3 people that popped in and like left after a minute during that, but I appreciate all y'all that popped in and let me get that off my chest. I know some people, like, I'm not oblivious to the fact that like you can go to therapy, but I'll be back in therapy. Anyways, the Atlanta Hawks, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. It's you know, um there's some professions where it's like I think like barbers, right? Like a barber will talk about something that's not about like being a barber, and people be like, "Bruh, shut up, bro. Just come. When's the next time you can come out here? When can I book an appointment?" And I always think that's funny. Like it's like the DJ, what was going through something. The DJ that like made the Luther Never Too Much amorphosis. He was going through something like on social media probably a month ago. People are just like, "Yo, what is going on here?" And then like he just deleted all the stuff after 2-3 days, and he was like, "Anyways, here's a new mix," and everybody's like, "Yay!" It's just funny, certain everything. Anyways, the Atlanta Hawks. So the Atlanta Hawks, man, tonight the season ended. They went 40-42, and they lost in the play-in as the eighth seed. It's not good to not make the playoffs when you are a top 8 seed. It rarely happens, but it happened tonight with the Hawks, man. So with it, came just the question of like, what do you do with the Hawks? Like, and instead of being like frustrated or anything like that, like my initial thoughts was like, okay, how do you fix it? Because I think regardless of what happened, like the Hawks weren't going to go far, right? And I think they find themselves in no man's land, and they've been in no man's land for the past 5 years. And so a lot of other teams are like in similar positions, spots of no man's land. I think the way that the NBA is set up right now is literally for, any team that of the cream of the crop with 2-3 superstars on the roster, you're kind of in no man's land, just kind of waiting to see what it's going to take to get into that cream of the crop group, that 1%. OKC has done it in the past couple of years. Cleveland has done it in the past couple of years. Even to a certain extent, Denver has done it in the past couple of years. And you look at what happened with those teams. Well, Jokic just eventually developed into one of the greatest players of all time. And, the pieces around him, just developed and peaked at the right time too when they won that first championship. With OKC, it started with Russell Westbrook. They had to have Russell Westbrook there to recruit Paul George. And so, bringing on Paul George gave them that asset to trade for a SGA. And then SGA blooms in addition to all the other draft capital that they had to get guys like Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, both Jalen Williams, et cetera, et cetera. Like, so that's what it was. It started with Russell Westbrook recruiting Paul George. Denver is the only situation out of all of these guys that didn't happen with a trade, like where all of this started off with the trade. So I say all of this to say the Hawks don't have time in the Trae Young era to draft a guy like Jokic and hope that he develops into Jokic 4 or 5 years later. They don't have time with that for Trae Young. Trae Young, his last year before he can option to become a free agent is next season. So he's eligible for an extension this offseason, but I don't know, and I don't think he should sign the extension this offseason. He should be like, yeah, put the cards in the Hawks court. What are you guys going to do to keep me here? And I don't blame them at all, because it's like they're literally just in the same cycle for the past 5 seasons. You have to do something. So the first time that the Hawks ever took a swing for Trae Young in the Trae Young era was another point guard, DeJounte Murray. And even if he was another point guard, it still kind of made sense, because it was like DeJounte was an all-star at the time when they traded for him. Plus, he had a little more height and he played defense. A lot of the attacks on Trae early on in his career was his defense. I know there's a viral clip of Trae going around in overtime right now, not boxing out Davion Mitchell, and then just kind of standing around as Mitchell kind of runs around the court and puts up his second 3 attempt. But for the most part, Trae's defense has gotten a lot better this season. Not even this season, the past 2-3 seasons. He even like dove on the floor for a ball in the fourth quarter during the comeback to even tie up the game to send it to overtime and things of that sort. Overtime, Miami won't miss him, man. Like what do you do when You talk about defensive player of the year, everything like that. Candidate Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels switches on to Tyler Hero after he makes the first couple of shots of overtime, hand in his face, and he's still making it. You can't do nothing about that. Like a lot of people say, defensive perimeter defense. If you're watching the game, if a guy has his hand in the face and he drains the shot, it ain't nothing you could do about that. Set foul. We're gonna tackle him to make sure he don't hit the shot. So, so anyways, DeJounte Murray was the first time that the Hawks took a swing at anything during the Trae Young era. On top of that, if DeJounte was Paul George for Russell Westbrook, right, for Trae Young in Atlanta, what Paul George was for Russell Westbrook in OKC, what they got back instead of SGA, what they got back was Dyson Daniels. And Dyson Daniels was a great get along with the Lakers draft pick for DeJounte Murray and what he was at that point of his career, what he is at this point of his career and stuff like that. It was a great get. But Dyson ain't SGA. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just limitations there. It just is what it is. So it's like, okay, you kind of missed on that in terms of being like on the OKC trajectory to take that next step and things of that sort. Out of all the years, you get the number 1 draft pick and a pretty average draft class. You get Zachary Ricochet, and for the most part, he's looked like a role player. He hasn't looked much different than DeAndre Hunter, even though his stats have been much better than DeAndre Hunter's. DeAndre Hunter had 2 30-point games with the Hawks in a few seasons, and I think about like 4.5 seasons he was with the Hawks. He had 2 30-point games, or it was something like that. No, if he got drafted 19, and it's 2024, then he was with the Hawks for 4.5 seasons. So 4.5 seasons with the Hawks, he had 2 30-point games, and then he had a 30-point game in Cleveland. So he's had 3 career 30-point games. Zachary Ricochet has had 4 in his rookie season alone. Cam Reddish had 2 30-point games with the Hawks, and he was there for a couple seasons. Yeah, Cam was there. 2019 got drafted, got traded like 2022, I want to say. So he was there for like 2.5 seasons, and Hunter was there 4.5 seasons. So that's 5 seasons, and then 2 more, 7 seasons. So 7 seasons combined. Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, 4 30-point games. 4 30-point games in Zachary Ricochet's lone rookie season. So, like, yeah, it looks like it's a notch up above from DeAndre Hunter. It looks like it's what Cam Reddish was supposed to be. A lot of times else, you have a situation like this in the play-in where you have 2 playing games and the kid only scores 10 combined points. You can't do that as a number 1 pick. And nobody's calling him out for it because, like, nobody was talking about him this year as a number 1 pick. So it was like when he was doing good things, a lot of Hawks fans were like, why is no one talking about the number 1 pick scoring 39 points? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big thing, right? Why is nobody talking about him scoring 38 points? But then when he does something like this, score 10 points in the 2 most important games of the year, then it's like, ain't nobody complaining about the lack of coverage he's getting then. Imagine if Zion did that. Bro, what? Imagine if Victor Wembanyama did that, bro. What? Imagine if who's some other recent number 1 picks, but like imagine if those guys did it. Like the talk would be nonstop. Zachary Ricochet gets a pass for some reason, for whatever reason, and I don't even want to hear, oh well, they don't draw up plays for him. I've watched literally probably 90% of the Hawks games this season. Ricochet, while he might not bring the ball up and just dribble the ball all the time, bro has where he comes off screens, he runs around, he stays off ball, everything like that, running around the court. He gets the ball a considerable amount of times. Like he gets the ball enough to score what he kind of needs to score, especially in big games. Like in these playing games, he's both gotten the ball a lot of times. And when he gets the ball, he shoots. He's not scared to shoot because they've instilled the confidence in him, and he had a couple high-scoring games early on in his career. So he shoots the ball a lot. And I know people were saying with tonight against the Heat, he only played like 16 minutes. He played 29 minutes the game before against the Magic. He only had 7 points. He played 29 minutes. See? So it's like Ricochet, okay. You hit on the number one. You're not getting any more help. People aren't coming into Atlanta. People aren't begging to come to. Ricochet has to be a number one pick. Like he has to. He has no room to develop and be a normal regular rookie and stuff like that. Like he has to because Trae Young is in the I want to win stage. He's at the end of his contract. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Going back to it, bro. All right, so you're Paul George, right? You're Paul George in OKC for Russell Westbrook for Trae Young was DeJounte Murray. Your return for DeJounte Murray when you traded him was not SGA, but it was Dyson Daniels. Okay, Dyson Daniels overachieved in his role this year. And you show him if he's given adequate playing time that he can be a decent role player, a decent rotational player for your team moving forward. All right. You missed out on your SGA for Dyson. Who's Chet Holmgren? If Chet Holmgren is supposed to be Zachary Ricochet, he ain't necessarily Chet Holmgren. All right. So there's that. And then your J-Dub, your Jalen Williams is probably Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson, your Jalen Williams can't stay healthy. Okay, that's an issue as well. He doesn't get nearly enough of the credit of the smoke and the criticism that Zion gets for playing the same amount of games. And it's like, oh, well, Zion, he's just expect to be LeBron James. And like, I get it, but it's like, geez, at this point, when you're just talking about all-stars missing time, and he did play at an all-star level this year, even if he's not officially an all-star. Jalen Johnson can't stay healthy. Like, it's an issue. Jalen Johnson not being able to stay healthy is an issue. Zachary Ricochet disappearing at times and looking nothing more than just an above average role player in the NBA is a problem as a number one pick. These are things that people should have problems with if you are a follower of the Atlanta Hawks, because if you're not, if you're just cool with it, you're just going to continue to get this. And you've seen it for yourself for the last 5 years. Landry Fields trading Bogey and Hunter at the deadline were both good moves because the Hawks probably would have been in the exact same spot they're in right now tonight. Had they had those two guys, and at the same time, financially, they would have been over the cap. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're going into the luxury tax for an average play-in team. They might have gotten out of the play-in with Dre and Bogey, but that's like the ceiling. We would have got out the play-in, lost some 5 games in the first round. It's not worth it. So it's like now you have money, okay? You have draft assets. Thanks to the Memphis Grizzlies winning, you have the chance to have 2 first-round draft picks this year. So you have 2 first-round draft picks. You have Jalen Johnson. You have Onyeka Okongwu. Who else? Who else is like? I think that's pretty much it in terms of like what you have that people will want in a trade to trade for a big name. Those are the only assets that you have right now. Those 2 first-rounders. And I don't want to say Dyson because I feel like it defeats the purpose. Dyson and Trae defeats the purpose, in my opinion. So yeah. Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu. If you trade in Okongwu, now you kind of have to get a big, you know what I'm saying? So if you say Jalen Johnson, say okay, all right. I think this is the big trade that you have to swing for the fences for this, because the Hawks have to swing for the fences this offseason. Like they have to. And not to say that they haven't in the past, but they literally need to do a big move. The same way that they swung for the fences with DeJounte and it didn't work out, but like they got Dyson Daniels and stuff out of it. You have to swing for the fences again this offseason. I say you put together the package of the 2 first-rounders, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu for Giannis. It has to be that, because you can also do something where you do Jalen Johnson for Zion straight up. And I don't know how the money lines up because I know Jalen just signed the $100 million extension. I'm not sure how much Zion's getting out. I think it's like 131. Let me see. Contract. No, his is a little bit more than that. It's 197. So you'll have to probably add in the big that they got, the Cody Zeller guy. I think Cody Zeller is the one that they have on the Hawks. Yeah. Cody Zeller. So now if you have, was he traded? Let me see. Let me see if he's still on the Hawks. Let me see. I'm trying to see if he's even on the Hawks. Or did he get traded? He got traded to the Rockets. Okay. So they already traded Cody Zeller. So they already traded Cody Zeller. But I'm just thinking of like a money piece that you can add alongside Jalen Johnson to get the Zion deal done. But this is also like a part of like, what do you do if you're the Pelicans? You keep Zion and you give it one more go with Joe Dumars, and then you give up on them after this year. Like this year should be it for Zion if you're in New Orleans. But if you're in Atlanta, just on the outside looking in, okay, what do we need to do? Atlanta needs to swing for the fences with the big star this offseason. Like there's no more. You have to put all the chips in and give it a go because 5 consecutive years of the playing, there's no more draft guys and development and wait for the time is run up. Like you have to trade for a superstar. The only superstar on the market with a name or that's even connected to the market that's being talked about is Zion. I mean, if you want to say technically Kevin Durant. That's it. So it's like Kevin Durant, I don't think that's going to really help him much because you're going to have to trade like a Ricochet for Kevin Durant. If you replace Ricochet with Kevin Durant, you literally just improve yourself to a second round team, right? You need like a younger star like a Zion, like a Giannis, who's not necessarily just on the younger side anymore. He's 30 now, but still, he's a guy that can probably go for another decade. Giannis can, and things of that sort. So Zion's actually on the market. He's the only one on the market, but I think in the age of NBA post Luka, there's literally nothing off limits. So you have to do something that people aren't talking about and come up with the package to pull that. That's why I said Onyeka, Jalen Johnson, your 2 first-round picks if the Kings pick conveys. The Hawks can only get the Kings pick if the Kings finish no higher than 13 in the lottery. If the Kings finish 12th in the lottery, the pick goes to the Kings. It stays with the Kings. But if the pick is 13, which there's a 94% chance of happening, then it stays with the Hawks. And now they have 2 first-round picks because they already have the pick from the Lakers, a la from the Pelicans, a la from Anthony Davis trade from the Pelicans to the Lakers this season. So it's like you have to do it, bro. I think that's the Hawks' only option. Is offer that to Milwaukee before the draft. Hope they say yes. If they say no, you go for Zion. You go Jalen Johnson and whatever else we need to have the money lined up for Zion. Or you go I think the biggest mistake that Landry Fields made, this is a whole nother point. The biggest mistake Landry Fields made in his tenure as the general manager is reportedly turning down Pascal Siakam in a trade, leaving the negotiation tables with Toronto because he didn't want to include Kobe Buffkin. They literally thought that Kobe Buffkin was going to turn into an SGA type player after watching him play in College Park. And that was the biggest miss for the Hawks. Kobe Buffkin has been the biggest miss for the Hawks. I'm not even saying Kobe Buffkin's a bad basketball player, but he doesn't play. It's the same thing. Like the Jalen Johnson, like all the criticism that Zion should be getting, except for off the court stuff. On the court stuff, it's the exact same thing as Jalen Johnson. I mean, Jalen Johnson, people have never said, oh, he's out of shape, he's fat. But then, like, that's literally it in terms of just like pure injuries and stuff like that. So it's like the Hawks, they're in purgatory, bro. And the only way to get out of purgatory, you can do a draft and We'll see if this guy develops into something in 5 years. You can do that. Houston Rockets, right? They just were bad. Drafted a lot of guys for a lot of years. Hit on 2 of them, Alperen Şengün and Jalen Green. And I guess you can say they hit also on Jabari Smith and Amin Thompson. And then they traded for a vet. No. Did they trade for Van Vliet? No, I think Van Vliet signed, and I think Dylan Brooks signed. So it's like so you just brought in 2 vets for the rotation, and that took you alongside with the guys that just developed and everything like that through good drafting after being bad for a long time. So it's like if you're gonna keep Trey, you have to literally bring a star next to him to make it work. Because if you're just drafting and hoping the guys develop into something, into the help for Trey, it's not going to work. And Trey knows that. Everybody knows that. It's been 5 years in the plan. It ain't about to happen for the Hawks. So Hawks have to swing for the fences this offseason. Like I said, Zion, man, if the Heat will come off anybody, but I don't think the Heat don't come off nobody. Pat Riley don't come off anybody, but a KL Ware would be amazing. Like, how many teams around the league would love a KL Ware? All of them. All of them would want a KL Ware, but a guy like a KL Ware, I'm trying to think of other young talent that's just like, oh man, like this is the person that you need to, because if Trey's a guard, you kind of need a wing or a big that's just going like take it to that next level. Brandon Miller, no. Like, I think he's going to be really good, but he's not there right now, and that's exactly what you're facing right now with the Hawks. Who's the wing? Hold on, let me just look at the leading points, the points per game leaders. Points per game leaders. We'll do that. All right. We'll just go from here. All right, points. So Anthony Edwards, I don't think Minnesota's not letting go of Ant, especially to go to his hometown. I know a lot of people bring that up a lot, but I just don't see that happening. Cade, Detroit isn't letting go of him because they just got good. Tatum, the whole Tatum Brown breaking up thing, I think all of that was kind of over with after they won a championship. Okay, Durant. Do you just like say forget the future and go for? I just don't think that's enough to help them win. Because Durant, I feel like it's just gonna be like, okay, he boosts you up from a playing team to a second round exit team. You need something that's going. Lillard, no. Booker, no. Jalen Brunson, no. Curry, no. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns would have been good for the Hawks, but he just got traded. He ain't about to get traded again. Bron, no. Trade himself. Franz Wagner would be great. And you would say, Orlando's on the come up. Orlando's this. Why would they do that? Why would Dallas trade Luka? I don't think it's only a few things off the table. And I think it's like if it was your first year being good. It wasn't Orlando's first year being good this year. And it wasn't Franz Wagner's first year being good this year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a Luka type of like, why would they do that? I would ask about Franz Wagner. Wagner. You know what I'm saying? Nudge him, see what's going on. Donovan Mitchell. They had too good of a regular season to give up on it now. Tyler Hero. Miami might do it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Miami might just do it for Tyler Hero. Like, they might give him up, bro. De'Aaron Fox just got to San Antonio. Zach LaVine. Does he get you to the next level? No. It didn't happen for Chicago, and it didn't happen for Sacramento. You got your answer right there. James Harden. James Harden is the system, 100%. Does he work next to Trae Young? No, they play the same game. DeMar DeRozan, I think DeMar DeRozan would be good if you can get DeMar DeRozan and somebody else. Like if you could get DeMar DeRozan and Jaren Jackson Jr. I know Memphis loves Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jaren Jackson Jr. loves Memphis. But if you could do something like that, now you're cooking with some grease. The gap in center, the gap in center talent is so huge, bro. Right now, I feel like it used to be. No, not necessarily, because it used to be Dwight and then everybody else, and then it was like DeMarcus Cousins, everybody else. So I feel like that's kind of on par right now. With no, because you have Embiid. Embiid's there with Jokic, but Embiid didn't play this year. Okay, the Hawks. You're gonna have to look at Embiid, bro. Embiid's in the rumors and everything like that, and I know a lot of people saying no and everything, but I think you have to look at an Embiid. You have to look at a Zion, all the guys that don't play but are superstars and stuff like that, because you just have to try something, bro. Like even Philly tries something. Like Philly has literally always put something next to Embiid. They got after Ben Simmons, they got James Harden. After James Harden, they got Paul George. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, it's like, okay, Maxey developed into an all-star. That's why you do it. Okay, Zachary Richardson develops into an all-star. But you trade for a guy because it doesn't make any sense. You can't say we don't have the assets, we don't have the pieces. When other teams like the Sixers, like the Clippers, like the Lakers can just trade for help whenever they want. Even before that, in Dallas, when Luka was in Dallas, when he needed help, I was okay. We'll figure out something. We'll get Kyrie Irving for you. We'll try to figure out. That is just what happens with other teams. For Jalen Brunson, okay, yeah, we'll get Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns for you. There you go. Trey has gotten that once, DeJounte Murray, and that's the problem here. That's the problem here, bro. But they need to try something. Sabonis would be amazing. Domantas Sabonis in Atlanta would be amazing. But who would you trade for him? I'm not trading Jalen Johnson for Sabonis. I'm not. Sabonis plays more, and he was like the league leader, right? He was the league leader in rebounds, right? I know some people were trying to dispute that. He played 70 games. Let me see the rebounding leaders, bro. All right, ESPN want to freeze up now. Okay, yeah, he led the league in rebounding, bro. Walker Kessler too, bro. See, okay. I'm glad I saw that. Who needs to be on a Hawks big board? If you had to rank it, power rank it, this is what I'll name the title of the video. The 5 players the Hawks need on their big board. Let me draft up a doc so you guys can see it while I'm thinking about it and stuff like that. Draft up this doc. Google Docs. Let me close out all these little pop-ups talking about best of AI. I didn't want to get into the doc. All right, here we go. 5 players. Hawks offseason big board. Okay. Number 1, I'm gonna say Giannis. All right. Should I go with who's on? Okay. In rumors. We'll go in rumors first. This is the in rumors list. Anybody who has already been listed in rumors, quote unquote, realistic gets. All right. So first, you got to say Zion Williamson. Second, Sabonis. Who else is in talks? People say, okay. I'll put Kevin Durant down here, Bradley Beal down here. These are just people who are in trade talks who I feel like the Hawks. That if the Hawks got them, that'll be at least like, yo, look at us. We are trying, Trey. We have tried to get you somebody else. Walker Kessler has been in no trade talks. Did Lauri Markkanen get traded again this year? Because he's always in those talks. He's always in some trade talks, bro. Especially if Utah gets the number 1 pick and they get Cooper Flag, Markkanen might be out of here, bro. Because he's the same player as Flag. Flag just more athletic, but I mean, like they the same height, things of that sort. Shout out Donovan Klingen. A lot of people was like Hawk should have took him. But I mean, Ricochet good enough. I ain't gonna hold you. Let me see. Who else? You got Ant here, Brandon Miller, James Harden, Cade Cunningham. See, Cade Cunningham would be good, but like this Detroit's first year being good. They're not gonna trade him. Not yet. They gotta be like, you know what I'm saying, first round exit for 3 years in a row for them to start bringing up those rumors. Carl Anthony Towns, Zubac, no. Walker Kessler, he's not in any rumors. I guess John Collins is not taking him to the next level. Maybe John Collins can back up. Would he want to back up? I'll say John Collins, question mark. If you keep on Jalen Johnson, so Jalen Johnson gets hurt. Now you got, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Johnson gets hurt. Now you got John Collins, whatever. So these are the people in rumors. Now this is Luka like aim. Luka like aim to prove to pull a trade that nobody's seen coming. That one has to start with Giannis. Who else? Who else you going with? I'm gonna put this number. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1, you have to say Giannis. Number 2, if you can get any player in the league to come play with Trae Young, I guess we say Anthony Edwards. The homecoming thing. Okay. Hold on. Let me share this tab. Anthony Edwards, number 2. Who I said somebody earlier. I can't remember. I was like, them for sure. I do not remember who it was, though. Oh, Sabonis. I think it was Sabonis. Vucevic, no, definitely no. I'm looking at this, by the way. Julius Randle, no. Scotty Barnes, they're not getting rid of it. He like all they got. Shout out RJ. RJ averaging 21 points. Norman Powell, shout out to Norman Powell, but no. JB, Jaylen Brown. I'll say Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. Şengün, Austin Reeves. Who would you trade Austin Reeves for, though? That's the point of this, huh? Like, not thinking about the people you can get, but. Oh, Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner. And then I'd say Domantas Sabonis. So, okay. So for the Hawks, this is who you need to go after. In terms of the rumored people on the rumor mill, everything like that, these are people you need to look after. And in terms of you just thinking like Luka, like nobody saw Luka to the Lakers happening. Off-season trade targets 2025. I'll put AKA mission keep Trae or save Trae Atlanta era. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. That's what these guys have to do, bro. It just is what it is. You have to go for this. Zion at the top, Sabonis, Kevin Durant. It's in, you got, but you got to make a big deal. You have to make a big deal. Oh, I didn't say Walker Kessler. I'll say Walker Kessler, and then I'll say Lauri Markkanen. So like pretty much all the Utah Jazz for real. Who did I get something else? Let me see. I'll see. Okay. Salute. Elite. Yeah. Okay. I've spent definitely enough time on this. But yeah, I don't know. Because it's a puzzle. Instead of just being like this year, instead of being like, it's like, okay, how do you fix the team? Because you have to fix the team. Team can't stand pat. If you stand pat, Trey's gonna like if Trey doesn't opt out next season, if they stand pat, just say you get the 2 first-round draft picks, right? The Kings land at 13 in the lottery. Hawks get 2 first-round draft picks. You get the 2 first-round draft picks. I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen. Them 2 jokers gonna play in College Park all season, unless you have what you had this year, where everybody got hurt. Even this year, everybody got hurt. They second-round picks still didn't get called up from College Park. He wasn't even on the roster. He was just on College Park. So now he got to get a roster spot. And it's crazy because they brought on Jacob Toppin, Obi Toppin's brother, before they even called up the Nikola dude, the second round pick they had. So I don't know. I'm just looking at all of this stuff. But if you stand pat, you're going to draft the 2 kids in the first round. They might turn out to be good role players rookie year. That's overachieving as a rookie. But more than likely, they won't play much. And since they won't play much, it adds nothing to the team. So the team stays the exact same that they were this year. They say the exact same. So with that, Trey's going to leave. You're going to make the play-in once again for the 6th straight season, and you're going to lose again in the play-in. It just is what it is. You're going to lose or win in the play-in. Win in the play-in and lose in the first round. So the Hawks literally have to do this. They have to do one of these 12 options. And one of them is the same option. So you're going to have to do one of these 11 options. I'll take out Sabonis' name on the lookalike game. And we'll do it like that. That makes sense. So now you have even 5. You have to do one of these 10 options, bro. Wait, hold on. 11 options. My math is all off. But yeah, you have to do that. You just have to. Or Trey's gone. So, yeah, that's what I'll name it. The 11 moves the Hawks need to make to keep Trey Young. And, yeah, that's it. That's all I have for that. So, I guess I'll get into the regular live now, 50 minutes in. And, yeah, let's get into it. So, with the Karmelo thing, some influencers have spoken about it and things of that sort. And so this is Sneeko speaking to a guy at, it looks like just a Subway, about it in New York. So yeah, this is what he said.
To attract me, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I brought knives to school every day for years.
You what every day?
I brought knives to school every day.
You going to school why?
I got jumped. I had my nose broken. I had a concussion. I couldn't go to school for 3 weeks. I've seen people my age younger get robbed. I've seen people my age younger get beat up for no reason. I've seen people have petty grievances and taking out on other people for stupidness. So at a certain point, you have to, when it comes down to you or somebody else, you're always going to pick yourself. So if he had a knife, I get it. Because sometimes, you by yourself and you're outnumbered, what are you going to do?
But I think that Austin just asked him to move out of his seat.
I wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't really, at the end of the day, like I said, whether or not he did, whether or not it went the way Austin said it went, or, Austin's brother, whether or not it went the way Karmelo said it, this is one of those things about seeing race. Karmelo's going to be the bad guy in that picture regardless.
Well, he's free now. He just the bond was posted, he's home, and they raised $400,000.
Then he's free. He got probation for a year. He got an ankle monitor on. He can't leave his crib. Justice system will handle him. But I'm not really mad at it, even if he did it out of malice, because at the end of the day, like, being black in America is not always fun. And a lot of the time in that situation, whether he did it out of self-defense or not, he would have went to jail. So it's cathartic, like in an OJ way. You know, OJ probably did do that, but
What do you hope to see with this trial? Do you hope to see him walk free or go to jail?
if you ask like a personal opinion, I just want to be home regardless.
You want to be home, or even if he did it, he wanted to be home?
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, bro, I see people that look like me get incarcerated for everything. Get incarcerated for things we ain't do. Look at Khalif Browder. Khalif Browder got arrested for, and that was in New York. Khalif Browder got arrested for beating somebody up, stealing a book bag. And when you take a lot of losses, you know, as a community, you see things like that happen over and over, time and time again. You know, people going to jail for things they didn't do. You don't really care if somebody did it or not. Sometimes you want.
So you don't care if he did it or not?
Me personally, nah. Me personally, I don't care. I don't care.
Wow. So, wow, that's loaded for sure. So this has 684,000 views, 4,500 likes. And his sentiments, I think they speak for a lot of people's thoughts on the situation and stuff like that. All right, and then this is Aiden Ross. Of course, I made my video about Aiden Ross and I share my thoughts on Aiden Ross before. But here we go.
Bro, I know we don't talk about politics anymore, shit like that, but that shit really pissed me off what's going on in the world right now, bro, with you know who, bro. Track me shit. Bro, I try to bite my tongue nowadays, bro. But like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. How do I not, bro? I have a platform for a reason, bro. I can say whatever the fuck I want. The fuck you mean who? He killed someone, he's out. Like, how the fuck does that work? Like, bro, he's literally like, what? like, what? What do you mean stop? I'm dead serious. He's literally, he stabbed him and he's out. Like, bro, what? Like, no, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead, bro. I'm not joking, bro. It doesn't make any sense at all. Y'all saying shut the fuck up? I'm dead serious. No, I don't give a fuck if people mad at me, bro. I say what I want, bro. That's what streaming's about. If they gonna ban me for opinion, they gotta ban all the other political streamers on Twitch too. Come on, let's be real here. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just being real. Self-defense. Okay, cool. So you would feel comfortable putting your kid in a school with a kid who has a fucking knife in school? Bro, y'all are so stupid, bro. If y'all get bullied in school, tell your teachers or tell your parents. Don't fucking try to kill somebody, bro. Please don't kill anybody. Death is very bad. It's crazy I have to even speak on it.
And a lot of people feel the way that Aiden feels. So I feel like these two people right here, this young man from the subway and Aiden right here, they represent darn near what everybody's feeling about the situation and stuff like that. So there it is. Okay. All right. Austin Metcalf's dad was apparently swatted.
On the deadly stabbing in Frisco, Frisco police just confirmed a swatting call was made tonight to an address belonging to the victim's father. Now that's a prank call designed to bring a lot of police to a scene. Tonight, Jeff Metcalf confirms to WFAA he wasn't home when it happened, but he did arrive about 5 minutes later. Now, this is new information, and right now we're working to learn more details. But earlier today, everything stopped and heads turned when Metcalf showed up to a news conference called by the suspect's family. Tonight, Matt Howerton has a desperate plea from Karmelo Anthony's mother.
They came to speak for the accused. Jeff Metcalf came for his son. The father of Austin Metcalf surprised cameras at a press conference in Dallas Thursday, waiting for the mother of Karmelo Anthony to speak for the first time. Anthony, 17, now charged with murder, out on bond after telling police he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. Metcalf's father asked to leave the press conference, and then it began like this.
The father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Metcalf telling WFAA he was just there to listen.
I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm just here to stand by and witness this press conference.
And shook the hands of officers before leaving. Since he was asked to leave the press conference, we asked Metcalf what he thought about those remarks. Thursday night, he told us he's not talking to any media right now.
Our family has been under attack.
Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, did eventually speak.
The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
Emotionally denying her family has used any money from a Give Send Go fund that's collected over $450,000. The internet has suggested otherwise and has flooded Hayes' family with threats, she says.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom.
At the presser, it was also revealed that Frisco ISD has moved to expel Anthony weeks before he was supposed to graduate. An accusation of murder on school property results in an automatic expulsion per the district's code of conduct. Anthony could appeal, and an advocate suggested that may happen.
Thank you, and God bless you.
The room emptied when the presser ended, but the temperature around this case didn't drop. In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
Yeah. Like I said, this thing, like I said this yesterday, this case is getting kind of uglier and uglier. Even though it's small things right now, you can kind of see, like, if you just know how the temperature, I know he just said the temperature, but how the political climate and kind of the racial tension has been in America over the past 13 years. You can just see from that this is going to get really, really ugly. You can see the potential for it getting really, really ugly in the coming months and stuff like that, especially as trial comes up and stuff. But like little comments, little kind of run-ins and stuff like that, I think it's gonna get bad. But you know, I mean, obviously you hope it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to live in a war zone or whatever, but yeah, I think it's gonna get bad. Because all right, he shows up to the press conference. They push him out the press conference. He says, I just want to listen to what's going on. It's obvious he was trying to make a statement with that. But for the attorney even the attorney, for the civil rights activists to open up with that is disrespectful to what we're trying to do. Like, I was like, okay, I don't get it. What is disrespectful? Like, I knew what the dad was trying to do, Jeff Metcalf, but I also knew why like they pushed him out. Now the whole remarks about it was saying that's disrespectful, disrespect to the family. I don't get that. But yeah, that, and then so he gets kicked out. It makes news and it goes viral that he was kicked out and he showed up to the press conference. And then apparently someone swatted him. And then it's like, so okay, so on the Karmelo Anthony family side, right? They move into a new gated community for added security because they've received so many threats. Okay, that makes sense. Jeff and Austin Metcalf's family or whatever, now they get in the news and now they get threats and now they get swatted. Like, it's no, bro. Like, because some people are gonna do that. Some people are gonna SWAT and call on Karmelo Anthony's home just because somebody on the Jeff Metcalf side did it. And when I say the Karmelo side and the Jeff side is white. It was white, black, obviously, bro. It's like black people gonna do that to them just because they did that to him, and white people gonna do that to them just because they did that to him. And it's just going. That's why I'm saying this thing is headed in a very ugly direction, and we're watching it piece by piece, day by day. This is developing by the day, and that's how I feel about the situation. It's very unfortunate, bro. Very unfortunate that we're gonna. But I mean, it just is what it is. What Gambino say? This is America. It just is what it is, man. And it rears this ugly head every single time, bro. I love the country. I love being a Black American. I will say that there's so many liberties. The fact that I could get on YouTube and say this, it's because I'm an American citizen. Thank you, God. At the same time, this part of it is something that happens around the world with Black people, not just in America, but in America is really, really ugly, bro. It's really, really ugly. And it's not something you're proud of, but it's also something that you can't ignore. Like, it's not happening. Like, it's happening, bro. So yeah, it's just the latest chapter of it. And we're watching it progress. What is it? It's May now. We're headed into May. It's the middle of April. We're headed into May. June, July. Let's see what happens. And that ain't no. I'm just saying based off of what we've seen before, right? With timing and stuff like that, of things adding up and racial tension building up to become something. Let's see how America's looking in June and July. If this case is like, if we start a trial or whatever, or some court hearings and everything like that with Karmelo, anytime within the next 2-3 months, let's see what happens, bro, this summer. If they wait now, see if they wait until the fall. Now, okay, a couple people done moved on to the next trending topic in news. A couple people on moved on. And plus, in the fall, people going back to school, people going back to work, people getting off of PTO, people getting off vacation, people locking back into the regular grind. It's kind of like the second, part of the year and things of that sort. But if you do it in the summer, whew, we all remember what happened a few summers ago. We was there. So yeah, there's that. Okay. I waited until tonight to watch this and react to this on stream. So for those of you who don't know, one day Joe Budden on the podcast was just like, yo, what happened to B-Dot and Elliott? B-Dot is hiding behind those lists of telling us what happened with Rap Radar, and Elliott's hiding behind his new show, telling us what happened with Rap Radar and him and B-Dot doing things that's like a tandem and things of that sort within music, hip-hop journalism specifically. So B-Dot said he called Joe Budden and he said, I'll be on the show tomorrow. He tweeted it because people are like, what happened to this call with Joe Budden? He said, I'll be on the show tomorrow. This clip comes out, bro. And the clip is he's saying, I've never been friends with Elliott. We just work together and I haven't spoken to him because we aren't friends. So it's my first time watching this clip. And apparently Joe also called Elliott at the beginning of the podcast. So I got that clip linked as well. And I watched that. I don't watch full episodes of Joe Budden podcast anymore. Ever since Rory and Mal left. It just doesn't sit well with me to listen to their full show anymore because those are my guys. Like I came up off Joe Budden podcast. I went to the live show and everything. And out of loyalty to Rory and Mal, the way he treated them, I just watch full episodes of New Rory and Mal. And the Rory and Mal Don't Know Ball podcast as well. Like I think that's an entertaining, good idea too.
I thought the terms were fair. I was just ready to get back to work. So that's what happened, and then we just became free agents. Now, that was in May, and that was like the last time I talked to Elliott. Kind of had that, like that, what the fuck, kind of, what the hell-y? What the hell's going on? And that was.
But you never demanded answers from you.
Did you ever have the what the hell conversation with Elliott?
Last time we spoke. That's the last time we spoke was in.
That's the
May.
part that
We're friends. We're not friends. I'm not. We're friendly, and I got love for him, but we're not friends in the traditional sense. It's not like I'm hitting him up casually, like, hey. It's Saturday. Let's go get a couple Budweisers. Like that's not our relationship.
And never been.
Nah, it's never been. Elliott's a cool guy. Working with him isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do, but I think that like the.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's been fun. We made history. We did a lot of iconic shit, but I think the last year and a half has been exacerbated, because of you, Joe Budden.
Oh,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, now we here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, we here now.
You are Yoko Ono.
Oh shit.
Because when we had you on the show, 2023, I feel like you antagonized and you gassed him into leading into this antagonistic persona that we see right now that's kind of becoming a little bit unrecognizable. And I feel like I saw the effects of that shortly after.
Hey, yo, bro. The hymns on the Joe Budden podcast is the funniest thing, bro.
Elliott slighted Drake. He slighted SZA. Who else was it? It was like Nicki Minaj. That was recently. It was Sway, Angie Martinez. And I'm like, yo,
it was a lot.
What the hell is going on? And I feel like your influence encoured him to lean into this.
The villain.
Yeah,
You inspired
the villain. It kind of taints the work that we've done. Overshadows it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the messages that I get in the streets, they don't say the Elliott Wilson nigga. They say the Rap Radar niggas is whack. From the rappers and the managers and, like.
What's up with your mans?
Yeah, a lot of those. That scene in Casino when Nicki's talking to Sam? That's the conversation. And I've had these conversations with Elliott. I pulled him to the side, but you know, you can't tell a grown man what to do.
Did you block Elliott?
No, I ain't blocking him.
You're just not speaking.
He said no more.
The thing about it is, the thing about it with Elliott is like, okay, he did this, right? And it's looking bad on B-Dot's part, just trying to be a regular, you know what I'm saying, regular journalist, a regular media reporter, everything like that on hip hop and music. The thing about it is, it's worked out for Elliott. It's worked out for that's why he won't stop. That's why he's not gonna stop. So I really want to hear this Elliott phone call. I don't know if it was before or after B-Dot's appearance, but I really want to see what Elliott's response to it is. I don't know if he's gonna. The craziest part about all of this to me is that B-Dot hasn't even said, "Yo, it's gonna be on the what they call it, the Rap Life, not the Rap Life. I know the show. What's the show with Jeremy Heck and D Head? What's the show called? Elliott Wilson. Let me just look up Elliott Wilson, see if it pops up. Elliott Wilson. What's the show? What's the show called, man? Let me see. The show's called The Bigger Picture. Okay, The Bigger Picture, right? So like, he didn't even tweet out, "Yo, tune into The Bigger Picture tomorrow," huh? Like, but when it was Charlemagne that called Elliott out, it was immediately like a whole tweet thread about F Charlemagne, this and that Charlemagne, da 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 da. And he's like, "Yo, I'm coming on The Bigger Picture. Y'all tune into The Bigger Picture while I'm address this." You know what I'm saying? When it was Cameron and Mace, because Cameron and Mace have a show, it's like, okay, Cameron this, Cameron that, Cameron this, Cameron that. Did you hear me that? He goes on Cameron's show to talk about it with Treasure Wilson, Stat Baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was something that happened. Now that is B-Dot doesn't have his own, you know what I'm saying, show that's like of the popularity of a Joe Budden podcast. Like, B-Dot's takes, like his stuff that goes viral are the lists on Twitter, right? Of course. But it's like one time he was talking about Complex's list about Atlanta rappers on Angie Martinez, because he goes on, not Angie Martinez, Angela Yee's show all the time, right? He goes on her show a lot. So that's kind of where he gets a lot of his viral stuff off on another platform like that. Since it's not his own kind of voice or whatever, isn't on the thing of like Joe Budden. I don't even know if you say Drink Champs right now or like $1 Million Worth of Game. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that Spear, Club Shay Shay, if it's not on that level, like Elliott isn't going to respond, bro. And that's crazy, because while you accuse some people, artists, right, of clout chasing and going to the streamers because the streamers get bigger numbers, or going to Funny Marco because Funny Marco will get bigger numbers than a regular interview would at Rap Radar. While you're accusing those artists of clout chasing, and you're accusing other people of clout chasing and, you know, thinking certain things and reacting certain ways to stuff, right, of clout chasing, you're literally, I feel like, clout chasing. Because it's like, if it's B-Dot, bro, and you've been tweeting whole threads at people when they say something to you immediately and then tease everybody, watch my show, why don't you give B-Dot that energy? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or that, like, why didn't you give B-Dot that, how do you say it? Why didn't you give B-Dot that type of attention? Why didn't you give B-Dot that type of spotlight, or like back and forth? Why didn't y'all do that public sparring with B-Dot? Is it because B-Dot isn't on a platform as popular as the one that you would like that will help you blow it? Like with academics is another perfect example, right? So he says, "Oh man, the streamers like act, the new media, this and that." You know what I'm saying? Like, what about us, the old music journalists? And then before a while, you know, he starts calling act, and he's calling act on stream and a height of the Kendrick and Drake beef, right? And like that helps Elliott stay in the news cycle, stay hot, all of these things, right? Because it started with him calling himself the GOAT of hip hop media, and then he started doing this and doing that. And all of it, you know what I'm saying? It's difficult to say that he's not chasing clout, that he's not being a clout chaser right now to stay relevant this many decades into his career. It's difficult to say that when you had B-Dot your literal counterpart, your coworker, the person right next to you for so many years in the new media, you know what I'm saying, in a kind of new media age or whatever, since like, 2010s, and this, I know Rap Radar goes back to 2000s and stuff, but like 2010s for the podcast space and everything like that. For you not to respond to him, it looks like you're not responding to him because B-Dot ain't on the platform, you know what I'm saying, of the this and that, which just confirms, like you respond to people with all the big energy and tease, watch the show to watch my response and stuff just because they got clout. And so it's like you're almost confirming that you are indeed being a clout chaser right now. So that's how I feel about the situation. But let me finish watching this. And shout out to Elliott, by the way, because Elliott did stop to give me an interview a couple years ago. Elliott did follow me and everything like that. He followed me first, and Elliott likes my stuff, and like, you know what I'm saying, like he likes when I post stories and it's a hip hop thing that is like good and stuff. Like he shows love. So I do want to say that about Elliott. But at the same time, just from the outside looking in of like what the big dogs in hip hop media is talking about and how they interacting, that's what I'm seeing happening right now. And that's just my perspective on it. If Elliott wants to come up here and talk, we can talk. But once again, I don't know. I don't have 5,000 subscribers yet, Elliott. At the time I'm going live with this, do you go on people's platforms who don't have 5,000 subscribers yet?
Elliott, I don't even follow Elliott, man.
Wait, you don't follow Elliott? Did you ever follow?
Nah. I mean,
Nah.
Yeah. Joe called it out. Hey, because you can downplay, but like you work with somebody, bro, for that long, yeah, you gonna follow them off the strength of we coworkers. It's people I work with for like a month that I still follow just because it's like, I don't know, like I seen them or they see me, they followed me. If I work with you and I know you, bro, yeah, I'm gonna follow you back. What are we talking about? This is what it is. All right, let me see this call, bro. I need to see this call. See what Elliott said.
But saying I'm not gonna be.
Hold on. Let me go full screen.
Messy.
Right. Let me call Elliott.
He's not gonna pick up.
I think he might.
You got hit him on aim.
He'll pick up.
Mr. Button.
There we go.
Yo, may I speak to Elliott Wilson, please?
All right, hold on. Yeah, B-Dot's right there. Oh, okay, all right.
That's me, brother.
Elliott Wilson, this is Joe Budden live on air. So don't say anything that would incriminate you or I. B-Dot is here, but we're not calling. Nah. Mute up, nigga. This ain't a reunite you niggas call. I'm calling for smoke.
Okay, let's do it.
Elliott, that last deal situation, B-Dot told us everything. B-Dot told us, first of all,
Is B-Dot there?
Yeah.
Everything.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. This one I like. I like this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like this. And yes, no, it shouldn't be done over the air. You know, Lauren LaRosa, Jess with the mess should not be done over the air. But guess what? Y'all brought it to the platform and everything like that. And the way that Elliott has handled a lot of this stuff has been publicly. Because you know why? Because he keeps his name and he gets clicks and stuff. That's exactly what he wants. And Elliott has been relevant, probably more relevant than he's been in dang. And I'm not even gonna lie, like, because Elliott is still respected. Like he's been respected when they were just doing the rap interviews and stuff like that with Rap Radar, because they were getting, they respected by Jay-Z, respected by Tyler Creator. He doesn't do that many sit-down interviews and stuff like that. Jack Harlow, when he was at the top of his pop star status and everything like that, he sat down and did an interview with them and stuff. And he wasn't doing that many sit-down interviews. So you know what I'm saying? Like they were still respected, but I mean, like, I guess in the clout. And the name of clout, like people know Elliott now, you know what I'm saying? In terms of being a famous celebrity as opposed to being a respected journalist, it's higher than ever right now. Or I wouldn't say ever, but higher than it's been since the days where print was the thing.
Now, that last deal where B-Dot was ready and the company was ready and you was pussyfooting around taking all day, why did you do that? And did you do that on purpose?
The deal didn't work out, man. I wasn't pussyfooting around. We couldn't get the deal done.
We didn't like certain. You could appreciate that we didn't like certain language in the contract, and
Who
we were
didn't
trying to
like?
negotiate those sort of things.
You or
my,
B-Dot?
my representation at the time.
Which
My
is who? Title?
No. It was an agency. You know.
Who?
I don't wanna
CIA? W?
One
What?
of those ones.
WME. It wasn't WME.
One of those-
WME would have never blown the deal. They don't talk
One
about
of
my
those
niggas. But WME. Who was it?
One of those ones. One of those ones.
Y'all let
the
company come between fucking you and B-Dot, you piece of shit.
Yo, was
You
there
let the
more offers on
company.
table?
You ain't even spoke to
funny?
B-Dot since May, you piece of shit. Are you crazy, Elliott? And you rode off to
Listen.
the sunset in LA with Jeremy Heck and DJ Head and got a fucking Up Rocks deal. Are you crazy, Elliott?
Listen, the Joe Budden Network Rap Radar Podcast. Let's do it. What's up with that? You
You
and
gonna- you
Charlamagne are funny. You know, you and Charlamagne are funny because y'all got all these critiques and shit. Meanwhile, you're in a position of power to work with brothers. And, it's a lot of talk. It's a lot of talk.
Now we talking.
It's a lot of
We
talk.
talking now. Now we talking. Now we.
But hold on. Let me go back though. They pan to B-Dot. B-Dot, I'm looking at B-Dot's face in the middle of all of this. Because B-Dot gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? He like, you know what I'm saying? That's his man. It's like he gonna know more than anybody else. Like, he's full of it. His face looks like it's just kind of pretty stern. Everybody else is smiling and stuff like that. His face is looking like, because I mean, regardless, like y'all haven't spoken in nearly a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We talking now.
you gonna go on the Club Shay Shay? No, Club Shay Shay looking for a network. Shannon Sharp looking for a network.
Now we talking. Now we talking. Put your money where your mouth is.
So yeah, that's how it ended. That's how it ended. I don't know, man. I know it takes money to produce stuff, and like certain people want things produced in a particular way. But I don't even know how they even come back from this, to be honest, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know how they come back from this, bro. I'm talking about B-Dot and Elliott. Because it's like you put out the awkwardness in the air. But you know, they say time heals all, so we'll see what happens with that. This is a random thing, but you know how we were talking about the Parkland students, like some of them are Florida State students, and they were there yesterday. People were talking about it, but we didn't hear anything from them. So this is one of the students.
Thought it would happen to me for the first time, and here we are. And unfortunately, this is America for you. After surviving the Parkland school shooting at Stoneman Douglas back in 2018, I was a freshman. After that day, I kind of woke up every morning thinking that it could be my last day. I was
Wow.
afraid for my life, every step that I took. And I've come a long way over that time. And I've gotten to a place over these last couple of years where I didn't fear for my life anymore.
Wow.
And I was able to walk around campus and feel safe. And here we are yet again. And that was taken away from me for a second time.
Wow.
These actually were the doors that I came out of yesterday. I was in the bowling alley. I am one of the bowling instructors on campus as a 1-credit course that students can opt to take. And we had the music playing pretty loudly. So unfortunately, we didn't hear anything, which we were lucky that some of my students looked out of the glass doors and saw everybody running. And I didn't see that. So I'd asked them what was going on. And when they said that everyone ran, I came out from behind the desk and I looked and I saw crickets and I saw belongings left behind. And unfortunately, due to my previous experience, I knew what that meant. And before I knew exactly what was going on, I just started to direct everybody into the back room to safety until I got further information. But I had a feeling that it was an active shooter situation before I even heard. You looked out into that room and you knew there was an emergency. There was not anything there, no movement, dead silence, and laptops open, bags on the floor. I knew what that meant.
That's terrible, bro. That's terrible, bro. And so salute to the student for like opening up about this and sharing it, because I know a lot of students and a lot of survivors in that they wouldn't want to talk about it like directly afterwards because you have so many media inquiries. You have people like me you that reach out to you. Hey, can I get an interview? Like right at that time, at like kind of the most sensitive times for them. So like definitely thank you for her doing this and sharing her, because nobody will able to have the perspective that she has in the world, in America. So I don't know. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing, because now we have the perspective because you decided to share it through the media. So thank you. All right. Next thing. Serah Williams. So Serah Williams, LSU brought her in for a visit this weekend. And Flage, she even went, left her tour with boss man D-Lo to come down for a couple days to help recruit Serah Williams. Serah Williams, of course, for those of you unfamiliar, she's a big from Wisconsin, I believe. She last played with Wisconsin. And she averaged 18 points, 11 rebounds, something like that. Look at this, bud. 19 points, 10 rebounds. Are you serious? 6'4", one of the top players expected to go in the 2026 draft and things of that sort. So, yeah, man, she's the real deal. Holyfield, she's the best big in the portal, and LSU is pulling out all the stops to bring her in. So I think, me personally, from just what I've heard and what I've seen, is going to be between LSU and UConn for her coming out the portal. And, UConn, obviously, for obvious reasons, they're coming off a championship run. AZ's coming back, but you also have Sarah Strong with you too. So you know what I'm saying? But at LSU, this propels LSU. They've been trying to get over that hump of the Elite Eight, kind of like Angels last year and the first year post Angel. I think this brings them back in the Final Four. I think this gets them over the hill, because not only is it Serah Williams in the front court, you also have Kate Caval, the Notre Dame transfer. So it's like you have two legitimate front court options. I think you've improved from hold on, let me see how tall Kate is. Kate is 6'5", Serah's 6'4". So you can have Serah. Sarah's a power forward anyway. So you can have Serah at power forward and then Kate at center. And that's your front court. That's your front two. When you had Samaya Smith and Anissa Morrow this past year. Shoot. Some might even say that might be an upgrade, but it's probably about the same, for real, because Anissa was the leader in the nation's leader in rebounding and things of that sort. But Serah, you get a little more scoring and stuff like that, a little more offensive game, things of that sort. And I think she averaged a crazy amount of blocks too. Hold on, let me go to her blocks. Hold on. Oh yeah, she had 5 blocks in the last game. Goodness gracious. Yeah, she averaged 2.3, nearly 2.5 blocks, bro, a game. Goodness gracious. You get that. I think that puts you in with the return of Flage, with the return of Michaela Williams. By the way, I think this is Flage confirming, because she didn't outright say, I am coming back to LSU. She didn't say that. She just said, we had talks. We talked about it. I like the talk that we had. I had offers, but I had a good talk with Kim. She never said outright. This is her outright saying, I'm coming back to LSU, because I think the deadline to enter the portal was the 20th. I'm sorry. When you have the internet up here, just take the extra second to Google spring transfer portal deadline. Yeah. Window. Yeah, you have until April 25th. So they have one more week. You have one more week to enter the portal. But yeah. I think this is Flage all but saying I am confirmed to come back to LSU next year. So there's that as well. But yeah. So you got Flage coming back, Michaela Williams coming back. You add Kate Caval in the front court, and then now you add Serah Williams in the front court, and then you have the two All-Americans, the two McDonald's All-Americans coming in the picture. The big who's going to come off the bench. Hopefully they can develop her, who gets a lot of blocks. And then the other one is a guard, I believe, stuff like that. Let me look up the Hoop Girls ratings just to get their names and give them that respect and things of that sort. All right, yeah. So it's Grace Knox. She's the forward, the big 6'2" that gets the blocks. She's coming from California. And then Zakiya Johnson. That's the guard. So she's silky, shoots the 3-ball and stuff like that. She'll be coming off the bench probably more than likely. But that's a good 5, bro. That's a good 5. That's a good 5. That's a good 5. That's a good 7-man, 8-man rotation. And I think that's good enough for them to get over that hump of Elite 8 into the Final Four. And I think things are open next season with USC having this situation and things of that sort. Of course, Jazzy's coming in. So Jazzy's coming in now as number 1. They bumped her up to number 1 over Aaliyah Chavez. I think that's politics. If you boost up a player at this point of the year, like right before college, I think it's politics. But, it's all for the sake of retrospect. Like, oh, they were the number 1 player in the class. Whole time, it was Chavez was the number 1 player in the class since sophomore year, all the way up to senior year, all the way through signing day. But after the All-American games, now it's Davidson. Got it. But, yeah, salute to Jazzy Davidson as well, friend of the channel. And, I think Kennedy Smith is also going to take another step next season as well with no Kiki and then and losing the other 2 5-stars and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a big year for her, Kennedy Smith, big sophomore season. So, yeah, it should be interesting. With that being said, though, I think that's just kind of one list program you might have to worry about in the Elite 8 in the Final Four next season. So you kind of roll to the Final Four is opening up. You kind of want to hit that hole hard for sure. It sounded crazy, but it is what it is. All right, let's go into the W, shall we? Deja Kelly has signed a training camp deal to get on the training camp roster for the Las Vegas Aces. This is big. This is big. This is big. And shout out to Callie as well. Callie said the Aces at the time of the Deja Kelly signing had 18 total active players, and you can sign up to 20 on training camp, but only 12 make it. So 8 get cut every year. And yeah. So that's what the deal is right there. Let's look at the roster right now, and we'll do that. Aces roster. All right, here we go. So here's the roster. We got one. Oh, well, we already know it's 18. So you got Jackie Young is going to make the team. Tiffany Mitchell is going to make the team. That's 2. KB, I'm gonna put you on the rock. I know you a long-standing member, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put you on the rocks right now, KB. I just got to keep it a bean. Just got to keep it a bean right now, right? So KB, your spot is not guaranteed right now. Hold on. I got to switch up the screen, everything like that. Switch up the screen. Make sure everything is good. KB, your spot, for the sake of the conversation, is not safe right now. Okay, so we got 2 guarantees. Jackie Young, Tiffany Mitchell. Queen Egbo, I don't know if a guarantee. You don't have no center, but let me go through the roster first. So I ain't going to say guarantee. Elena, not a guarantee. Crystal Bradford, I love Crystal Bradford, friend of the channel, not a guarantee. Dana Evans, love Dana Evans. We got to see. It's still out. Chelsea Gray, guarantee. Aaliyah Nye, not a guarantee. Harmony Turner, love her. Y'all know she is big stand over here, Harmony Turner, not guarantee. Megan Gustafson, guarantee. Yes, I say she can guarantee. Asia Wilson, guarantee, of course. Jewel Lloyd, guarantee, of course, that's 6. Cheyenne Parker Tyus, guarantee, of course, she's pregnant, 7. Liz Kitley, not a guarantee. Kia Stokes, guarantee just because she's been on the team a bunch. So you got 8 guarantees. Now let's go back. Liz Kitley, okay. The 2 rookies. So Liz Kitley, the 2 rookies, that's 3. All right. You only have one more spot if both rookies and Liz Kitley make the team. So it goes between Dana Evans, Queen Egbo, Kristen Bell, KB, and Deja Kelly. How many players is that's between? If Liz Kitley and the 2 drafted rookies make the team, you have one more spot left. Deja Kelly, KB, Queen Egbo, Elena, Crystal Bradford, Dana Evans, 6. Yeah. Six of those players, bro. Only one player makes it. Who makes it? Out of those 6 players, only one player makes it. We'll cut it down to even just, like I said, bigger names. Deja Kelly 1, KB 2, Queen Egbo, and Dana Evans. So out of those 4 players, only one of those players are going to make the team between Dana Evans, KB, and Deja Kelly. Only one of them is going to make it. KB has been on the team for the last 3 years. Deja Kelly went undrafted. She's on the outside looking in 100%. So say we mark off Deja Kelly. That's 3 left. Now you got KB, Crystal Bradford, and Dana Evans. Crystal Bradford's been bouncing around the league for a few years now. Wait, hold on. I said Queen Egbo. So we'll say KB, Queen Egbo, Dana Evans. Dana Evans is a vet in the league, bro. People love her. People think that, like, with the right chance, with the right opportunity, she can shine in the league. They also have, like, little to no depth at the 5 position, especially as Cheyenne Parker-Tice at the beginning of the season is going to be out because she's pregnant. So, do you keep Queen Egbo? Like, she just dunked in the social media video and it went viral today. You know what I'm saying? Do you keep Queen Egbo and KB gets cut? And so does Dana Evans? Or do you just cut Harmony Turner? That opens it up. You cut Harmony Turner now. Now you got another spot. You cut Harmony Turner, and now you have Queen Egbo and KB. Now you have no Dana Evans still. So, okay, all right. Let me run this back. Jackie Young, guaranteed 1. See, I need to pull up, go back to the little Google Docs. We'll do it like that. Pull up with Google Doc. All right. Here we go. Aces roster 2025. Guarantee. Tees. All right. And then you got to put, like, of course, the thing at the beginning. 12 roster spots. All right, baby. Guarantees. Asia Wilson. Hold on. Guarantees. Asia Wilson. Chelsea Gray. I know I should have put Jackie Young, but Jackie Young. Let me go back. Tiffany Mitchell. Megan Aljo-Lloyd. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Joel Lloyd. Liz Kitley. Sorry for those who aren't watching and just, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of, as I'm trying to figure this out. No, hold on. I just read Liz Kitley's name. That's why I put her on there. Okay, bet. Let's Kia Stokes. I said Kia Stokes is a guarantee. Let's go back to Kia Stokes. Kia Stokes. So now you have 4 roster spots left. 4 last spots. Let's do it, man. 4 last spots. Bold letters. Okay, you got 1. Let's say we go. Let's say Liz Kitley makes the team. Well, I guess Liz Kitley, that's your 5 spot. That's your 5 spot depth. Let's say Liz Kitley makes the team. Let's say, okay, who else is making the team? Okay, let's say, okay, we'll do it like this. None of the drafted players make the team. Queen Egbo. Number 3, Dana Evans. Number 4, KB. No rookies make the team, bro. No rookies make the team, if that's the case. Or you could do, okay, Dana Evans. Do I have a strike through thing option here? Is that an option here? Like strike through text? I don't know if it's because it makes it more dramatic. Let me see. Strike through, is that an option? Editing mode. Nah, I ain't trying to do that. I'm just trying to do like a strike through. Edit. Is it here? Anyways, forget it. Oh, no, hold on. Insert. Strike through text. Headers, footers, tables, drawing, horizontal line. No, horizontal line. Format. Oh, it might be here. There it is. Strike through. Okay, I found it. Yay. Okay, say Dana Evans gets cut. Dana Evans gets cut. Liz Kitley gets cut. Who makes the team? Dun, dun, dun. So now you got 2 spots open. Say you give this to Aaliyah Nye because she's your first round draft pick. Right? So, Aaliyah Nye. Nah, you ain't part of this. You ain't part of this. Hold on. I got to figure out how to do this now. Okay. Aaliyah Nye. Aaliyah Nye. And let me see how to spell Aaliyah Nye's name because I'm sure that's not it. Right. Was it? Wow. Did I get it right? I got it right. Wow. Okay. Anyways, Aaliyah Nye. Say she's one. Say you just give it to your two rookies, bro. The 2 players you drafted. Harmony Turner. We'll say that. We're gonna give it to 2 of them, both of them. Type deal. We're gonna do it like that. All right, bet. All right, so now Liz Kitley and Dana Evans get cut. Or you can go, we're going to keep Dana Evans. We need that backup because, like, who's the backup point guard right now? Exactly. Sydney Colson's gone. All right. So we are going to Liz Kitley. Hold on now. Where are we at? Liz Kitley makes the team. Queen Egbo cut. So sorry, Queen Egbo, you are cut. All right. So now Aaliyah Nye is off the team. Harmony Turner's off the team. Queen Egbo's been cut, and they decide to finally part ways with KB. And when I say finally, I mean respectfully, KB. Respectfully. You're obviously on the team for a reason. You've been on the team for the past 3 years. Now you got 2 more spots. Now where would you go? If you go Queen Egbo, if you cut her, okay, let's look at the roster again. You go Crystal Bradford. You go Deja Kelly. Does Deja Kelly play her way into this team? Sheesh. Jeez Louise, brother. All right. Liz Kidley makes it. Dana Evans makes it. Let's say, I guess the 2 rookies that you drafted. Unless you go Harmony Turner. If Harmony Turner makes it, I think it's just going to be tough, bro. Hold on. Let me go back to the roster. Only 2 of these jokers is going to make it, bro. Crazy. So say on the off chance Deja Kelly outplays. Oh, that's tough to see. I'm not gonna lie. She outplays Harmony Turner. Harmony Turner been in the underdog, you know what I'm saying? Deja Kelly and Aaliyah Nye. I'll say Aaliyah Nye. Just because her and Harmony Turner already played the same position. And her, I mean Deja Kelly, Aaliyah Nye. Now you don't have Queen Egbo and KB. Oh my goodness, bro. It's just see, they have a decision to make for sure. And I'm sure they already have a good, like, at least thing and everything like that. That's going on with that. So there's that. Best of luck to Nikki Fargas and the front office making that decision. It's gonna be some upset fans going into the as every year. That's why I say they need to expand the rosters to 15, bro. You expand the rosters to 15, you can keep Queen Egbo and KB, right? If you expand it to 15, you get you get Egbo, you get Aaliyah Nye, you get Dana Evans, and you get KB. Wait, no. I did that all wrong. That's 12. That's 13. That's 13 right there. 13, right? That's just 13. That's just if you, all right, 13 players, you get KB, Dana Evans, Aaliyah Nye, Queen Egbo. 14, you get Harmony Turner. So now you have 14 players on the roster. 15, you can get Deja Kelly on the roster, bro. And so now you still have, you know what I'm saying, Crystal Bradford doesn't make the team. But you have all your youngins. All the players that's drafted, if you draft it, you're going to have a roster spot. You shouldn't have to worry about a roster spot if you get drafted, bro. You know what I'm saying? But now, 15, everybody gets on. See how that works, you know what I'm saying, with the expansion and things of that sort. Because when people get hurt, they don't have the thing to do, everything like that. Woo, woo. All right, so yeah, that's what I think about that. But Nikki Fargas and the front office, they definitely have decisions to make over there in Vegas. To end it up, man, to end the night, thank you so much for coming on this ride with me, for listening to Yap for 2 hours. W Stream. I know I'm a little dumb for thinking this because life and time are precious, but if I live 75 years eating and enjoying what I want and someone else lives 100 years being vegan, I feel like I got more life out of them, even though they had 24 more years to eat hay and grass. See, the thing about this is you can eat whatever you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. And that even on just like you won't live this long. On the quality of life. Like, do you really want to spend the last 30, 40 years of your life like, I can't see, my back hurts, my ear, I got a cricket to the neck, to the side. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of older people who eat whatever they want, and just to even be in shape. Like my dad, he goes to the W. I mean, he goes to the Y. He goes to the W. I was just talking about the Aces. He goes to the Y, and he has to swim every morning. You know what I'm saying? Just to like, as his thing. He has to do like intense workouts. I have my mentor, Terrence Moore, like he rides the bike 30 miles a day. You know what I'm saying? You have to do these extreme things if you want to eat whatever. And my dad doesn't eat whatever. He's vegan. But yeah, like a lot of people, when you're older, you have to do these extreme things just to stay in like normal shape. And just eating whatever you want just makes that more difficult. I've seen so many, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you all have seen it, of these diseases that your families have had, and seeing the harsh ways that a lot of your family members are going out. And I don't think that eating whatever you want is worth just suffering for 2-3 months or 6 months or 10 years, the last 10 years of your life, suffering at an immense level just because you ate whatever you wanted to for all your life. So that's how I feel about it. And plus, vegan food, there's a lot of good vegan food out there. You can make vegan food. You can change your palate. The only thing about it is like when you're out and you guys are at a restaurant that everybody else is at, it's limited options for you on the menu most times and things of that sort. That's like the only thing about it, bro. And I don't even think that's a big, like, it's a small sacrifice for a huge reward at the end, you know. So that's what I say about that, bro. And I think it says a lot about life as well. Just like with fasting, you know, we're giving up something. Oh, that's so extreme. But it's like, if you give this up, you know, you help yourself in the long run. And it's just better benefits. Because, you know, if you gave in to what you wanted to do, to your mind or everything like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might get what you want. Like, right, the ice cream, it might taste good. Ooh, ice cream's so good. Then you got to get your teeth pulled out. You know what I'm saying? And you can't sleep and your sleep schedule's off and, you know, your skin's breaking out. You know what I'm saying? Now you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have had that ice cream so much, you know. But everything comes with, there's reactions to everything. And yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It's been almost 2 hours, an hour and 46 minutes. I hope y'all please take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great morning. Have a great evening. Have a great afternoon whenever you're watching this. And I hope you all please be safe. If nobody's told you today, I care about you. Peace.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question.
Brandon, we can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.